And we welcome you to Anderson Ice Arena here on the campus of the Breck School as we get ready for some girls hockey. It's an IMAC Conference rivalry game today as Breck will take on Blake. Should be a fun contest between these two teams, and we'll get you all set up here on the scoreboard in just a minute. But there's a look at the Breck Mustangs as they get ready for this contest here tonight. And then, of course, Blake at the other end. Blake will be wearing their blue jerseys with their green helmets, and Breck will be wearing their home whites with the yellow helmets. Going to be a fun contest between these two teams. Blake coming into this one at 11-4-1 on the year and ranked 7th in the AA poll by MNHockey.tv. That just came out earlier today. The Breck Mustangs are number 1 right now in Class Single A, and they have been doing so at number 1 for pretty much the entire season up to this point so far. So Breck looking to hold strong against a rival. And Breck, their last loss actually was against Blake back on December 14th. That was the last time these two teams played, and it will be the last time here today that they will play in the regular season. So going to be a fun contest between these two as we're officially underway. Breck with it in the defensive zone. Good forecheck there by Addie Burton for Blake. Quick pass near the doorstep. Rolling around in front. There's a nice pad save by the starting goaltender for the Breck Mustangs, Sarah Peterson. Here's a shot that sails wide and gathered in on the far side by Lily Dalianitis, the Cornell commit. She's a senior and certainly going to be one of the favorites to win the Miss Hockey Award. That will be given out after the girls' state tournament concludes in late February. Now Breck across the line as they come into the zone. Back down low below the goal line, and the pass broken up. Picked up by the Mustangs now, or the Bears rather, as they are able to move it out. Pass just missed the mark, intended for Ruth Goldenberg for the Blake Bears. Now the Mustangs will move it back into offensive territory. These two teams have had a long rivalry. And, of course, with Blake moving up to single A, or Blake moving up to double A, rather, that rivalry is still there. Breck still at single A, Blake moving on up to double A. And, of course, Blake in Section 6 double A with Edina. Always tough to see only one of those two teams make it to the state tournament. Edina is the 3-time defending champions, of course, at the girls double A level. And Breck is the defending champs at the single A level. Now here's Blake into the zone. This one on the tape of Kate Kasika, the sophomore who's a Harvard commit. She's got 3 assists so far on the year for the Blake Bears. This one just able to scoot across the line, and it'll go back in to Blake territory. Bears will pick it up, bank it up the boards. Nice pass on the right wing side there from Kasika. The intended return pass for her didn't work out. Will be played now by Riley Winters, and now gathered in by the Bears. Pass just missed the mark, so this will be an icing against Blake. It will go back down to their end. We're about just a couple minutes into this game, 14:44 remaining in our first period. Breck, so far on the year, 15-4-0, so both teams, Breck and Blake, have 4 losses each in regulation. Blake also has a tie in there as well. But Breck with 15 wins on the year. Again, number 1 right now in Class Single A. Nice move there. There's a quick snapper that missed the mark. That was off the stick of Ali Qualley for Breck, getting their first zone possession time here of the game. Be swung around to the far side where it's taken by Addie Burton. Now moved through center where the Mustangs will play it. Given away at the line. Good job by the Bears coming into the zone. Slowed down and forced back below the goal line, where it'll be taken on the wing by Lily Dalianitis. Down low. Trying to get the return feed back. It'll come back up to the point where it's kept in by the Bears. They'll force it down low and move it up along the wall. 13:50 to go, period number 1. Breck and Blake renewing their girls' hockey rivalry here at the Breck Anderson Ice Arena. Into the zone, here's Mobley trying to cut inside. Mobley shoots, scores! Olivia Mobley with a nifty little move there And that makes it 1-0 Breck. The home team striking first. Take a look at this goal. Olivia Mobley into the zone, lost the handle there for a minute, but got it right back. And Mobley has her team's first goal of the game. That goal is Mobley unassisted. And that one coming with 13:38 or so to go here in the first period of play. So big goal there for the Mustangs. And Mobley just continues to tear it up right now for Breck. She's probably the leading candidate, I'd say, for the Miss Hockey Award. There is a ton of really good talent on the ice here today. If you are a girls hockey fan, there's 12 Division I commits, 6 on each team, and we'll get into those commits a little bit later on. But just an enormous amount of talent that you're seeing here on the ice. A lot of future really good college players taking the ice. Kept in at the Breck line. Snapper broken up there on the shot attempt from Malia Kauser for Breck. Now bumped out of the boards and flipped back in by Breck, who leads it 1-0. Again, that goal, Olivia Mobley unassisted with 13:38 to go in the first. Now Breck will take it around the outside, trying to move it back to the left point, but good work by Blake up along the boards, trying to force it out. Now they do so. Quickly gathered right back in and fanned on the dump attempt there by Emily Zumwinkel. Zumwinkel is another one of those Division I commits you're seeing out on the ice tonight, committed to the University of Minnesota. She's a junior right now for the Mustangs. 9 goals, 11 assists for a total of 20 points so far on the year. Chipped up out of the zone, gathered in by Mobley, trying to look for goal number 2. Gave it away right at that line. Here comes the Bears into the zone. Quick snapper right into the glove of Sarah Peterson. Peterson, the starter so far for Breck on the year for her. 9-3 with a 2.50 goals against average and a .909 save percentage. Pretty solid numbers from Peterson so far on the year. Off the draw. Scores! Oh, that one hit some bodies in front, and the Bears have tied it up. We'll have to see who gets credit for the goal. Watch this. This one's going to hit off some bodies in front, and it just snuck through the 5-hole there. And that will be, looks like from the referee's indication, Audrey Wethington with the goal, assisted from Lily Dalianitis. So Blake ties it up 1-1 here early on in the first period. Both teams scoring in the early going. So that makes things a little bit more interesting now, as there's Dalianitis trying to get another point there for the Blake Bears. Flung over to the boards and flung back around behind the Breck net. So 1-1, your score early on here. And it was the first goal from Olivia Mobley for Breck, and then the second goal from Blake, evening this game up. Audrey Wethington getting the goal for Wethington. That is her 15th goal of the season. She's a senior on this Blake team who's committed to the University of Minnesota. Now a tie-up back behind the Breck net. Blake able to escape with it. Bounced up the boards and swung across. Here's a wrister that's blocked on the shot attempt from Bailey Abraham. And bumped up now as Breck will move it up out of the zone. This will be an icing against the Mustangs, so they'll move it back, or the officials will move it back into their territory. 10:48 to go in the first, 1-1 between Breck and Blake. Off the draw now, Breck will try and win it in the circle. Gathered up, quick snapper over the top. That was a quick little chance there for Grace Johnson of Blake. And now the Mustangs will move it out through center. Up ahead, Ava Lindsay with it for Breck. Another one of the Division I commits on this Mustangs team. She is committed to the University of Minnesota along with her sister, Sadie Lindsay. Now moved back into Blake territory. Good pressure up along the wall by both teams. Battle for possession. And bumped up out of the zone. There's a quick turnaround try and right into the midsection there of the Blake goaltender, Molly Haig, who is getting the start tonight for Blake. She is 8-4-1 on the season. Let's get a good look at her there. Numbers for her, 2.81 goals against average, .885 save percentage. Face off just to the right of Haig here as we begin or get ready to resume play again here. Right off the draw, Blake will take it. Nice quick work off the draw by Audrey Wethington into the zone. This one will roll right into Peterson's glove, stopping the clock with 9:58 to go in the first. A little bit more background information on these teams. Their first meeting of the year was back on December 14th, so 1 month to the day, actually. And Blake won that one 5-4, a really close contest, hard fought between the two. That was, of course, at Blake. And Blake, meanwhile, though, has been limping a little bit into this one. 3 losses in the last 5 games for the Bears, so trying to snap out of a little bit of a funk here as they play here against Breck. Always a tough place to play here at Anderson Ice Arena. Meanwhile, for the Mustangs, they have not lost since December 28th, and that was a 1-0 loss to Edina at the Walzer Invitational at Braemar Arena. Here's a quick snapper, and Peterson able to hold it between the wickets there for another face-off. And Breck has played Edina twice on the year. Their first game was a blowout win for Edina, 6-0. But since that point, they played again, of course, I mentioned in the Walzer Invitational. Only 1-0 for Breck. So they cut the deficit from losing by 5 to losing to just 1 to the Hornets. So that's a promising sign if you're a Mustangs fan to compete with the top-ranked team in girls AA and only losing by 1 goal. That's got to be a good sign of things to come. Here come the Mustangs into the zone. Around the outside, Mobley, nifty little stick work there. Quick snapper, fired wide off the tape of Ellie Kleppinger. And now it'll come back out to the neutral zone where Mobley will take it ahead. Bumped right back on the tape. Nifty move by Qualley. Didn't work out. Now up to the boards. Blake will take a hold of it and move it up out of the zone. Here's Susie Higuchi inside. They score! Nice move, and Blake has responded with 2 unanswered goals here to make it a 2-1 game. Take a look at this speed on the replay. That is a nice little move there by Susie Higuchi. That's her 6th goal of the year. And it makes it a 2-1 lead for Blake, who now has the lead here about halfway through this first period of play. So Blake on top, 2 unanswered. And look at the speed from Lily Dalianitis, cutting inside as she's forced back around the outside. Thrown towards the slot area, but broken up by some sticks. So that goal is Susie Higuchi from Elizabeth Morrison and a Bailey Abraham. Those are the 2 assists there for Blake on that goal. So 8:36 to go in the first. We'll have another face-off here just to the left of Peterson. Just getting everything squared away. It looks like there's a Breck player at the bench getting ready to come on the ice. That's Sadie Lindsay. She'll position herself right in the slot area. So we're ready to go. Quick shot off the draw, fought off by Peterson. And Breck will move it out of the zone quickly as they look to strike again. Forced off the puck there was Sims for Breck. Down low into the corner, right out in the slot. Sims trying to whack away, lost it between the skates there. And Blake will move it up, but it's given away at neutral ice. This one is an icing call here, so back to the Breck zone. Breck, though, of course, mentioned still at the single A level, but they're ranked number 1 right now in the state. And that's a position they've pretty much held throughout the year. And the losses for Breck on the year, they've lost to Blake, who they're playing right now. Again, that was a 5-4 win for the Mustangs, or for the Bears, rather, back on the 14th of December, 1 month to the day. Then they also lost to Edina twice, and they lost to the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. So all AA teams they've lost to. Mobley inside on the backhand, fought off by Molly Haig. And it will go back behind the net to be taken by Wethington. Pass up ahead for DeLeonidas, who will fire it in. Peterson will relay it to the corner. Fired back in deep by Audrey Wethington. 7:30 to go here in the first. 2-1 lead for Blake. Back in behind the net. Breck having some troubles breaking it out of the zone, but now moved into neutral ice where it's gathered in by Bailey Abraham. She had an assist on that second goal for Blake. Oh, tied up here and no call. That looked like a pretty clear trip, but the officials did not call anything, so we'll keep playing on. Breck has it behind the net. Nice stick work there by the Mustangs to get it out. Given away at the line, but they force it in the zone. Fired right back out by Bailey Abraham, and this will be an icing. Let's go back and take a look at that possible trip that the officials did not call here. See if we can get that pulled up on the replay. So you see here right at center, this is where that puck will come, and it didn't look like there was much. Actually, it looked like more of just a losing of the edge there for one of the Blake players. So it looked like the officials made the right call. Didn't look like it at first, but they did indeed make the right call. So we'll play on. Breck trying to force something to the net here as they hand it off. Just kept in at the line by the Mustangs. This is some nice work around the edges. On the tape now of Ava Lindsay, cutting inside. Now she got tripped up, and that will be called a penalty. And that will send the Mustangs to the power play here with 6:25 to go in the first. Watch this one again on replay. You see Lindsay trying to cut inside here, and that's where the stick gets caught between the legs. And so that will be a penalty against the Blake Bears, our first power play of the game for either team. So here we go off the draw. Forced up to the point, but not out. Good keep by Breck at the line. Into the corner now for Shea Messner. Forced back down low. And here's Sadie Lindsay. Mobley back up to the point. Moved over onto the right side. Quick snapper through the crease. Hag got knocked down, and the Blake fans screaming for a goalie interference penalty, but we'll continue to play. Here's a snapper that caught a stick in front and goes to the corner. And now forced back in behind the net. Haig had trouble with it there for a moment, and now the net comes off as Haig got knocked to the ice. And that's twice now that Molly Haig was forced to the ground. So faceoff will come out of the zone, but here's a look at that second try. Blake just trying to defend their ground as Breck continued to push away. So 5:53 left. And the faceoff will come out of the zone. Breck got lucky, really, though, that they didn't get any minor penalty called, and you see the Blake coaching staff having a word with the officiating crew about why that wasn't a penalty, because Haig got knocked to the ice twice there, and there was nothing. So we'll continue to play on. When you still see the Blake bench not happy with that call, and I think you could have made a case certainly that there was something to be called there. But we're going to continue to play on. There's 5:53 left here in the first period. Off the draw, Breck will win it back. And taking a hold of it is Mobley, trying to dance her way through center. Around the outside, gathered in, held on to by Mobley. She swings it across. Good work here by Breck along the outside, but fired up to the point. Mobley will keep it and gave it away to Dalianitis, who then in turn gives it away to the Mustangs. Here they come across the line. Shot there fired wide by Hannah Halverson and just kept in by Blake. Mobley the intended target. Now Blake, here's a breakaway. Here's a chance alone for Burton. Inside, pad save, Peterson. Nice work by the Breck goaltender, Sarah Peterson, to keep this at a 2-1 game. Now Mobley across the line, broken up, rolling around in front of the slot, and broken up now by Blake as they come 3-on-2 the other way. Across the line, there's Wethington with a soaring shot off the glass. And up along the boards, taken a hold of by Hannah Halverson. Halverson around the outside, dishes it off. And Susie Higuchi had it for a moment, but given away as Kleppinger plays it up ahead. Into the zone. Halverson, a shot there off the tape of Kleppinger, steered away by Molly Hagg. So Blake at full strength now as they kill off the penalty, 4:20 to go in this first. Long pass just misses the mark, so this will be an icing call against the Blake Bears. 4:16 to go in the first period. Our first goal of the game was scored by Breck. That was Olivia Mobley with the shot that snuck through the 5-hole of Molly Hagg. And then our next 2 goals were scored by Blake. Audrey Wethington with the first one and Susie Higuchi with the second. So those are your goals so far in this game. 2-1 lead for Blake here at the Anderson Ice Arena, where they, of course, are the visitors. This is always a tough place to play, both boys and girls here on the campus of Breck. Here's Mobley in the slot, turned aside by Molly Hagg. I think that might have caught some sticks in front, too, that deflected it to the corner. And the pass just missed the mark again, so Blake has another icing with 3:44 to go in the first. The shots on goal so far in this game are 7-9. It's Blake with 9 and Breck with 7 so far. So off the draw, Blake wins it as they fired up to the line but not out. Good glove down there by the Mustangs. Looked like Kleppinger, but Breck will exit the zone, or Blake rather. Wethington around the outside, trying to force it up the wing. Dalianitis back to Wethington. Wethington cycles it to the point. Julia Bloom able to come in and keep this puck into the zone. Now Breck will take a hold of it as they spin back behind the net. Here's Zoomwinkle. Back behind the net. Here comes Breck into the zone. Here's Ava Lindsay with speed, lost the twig as that goes flying into the corner. And now Breck will have to get back on defense here. Good speed from the Bears as they come into the zone. Good collision in the corner as now it's picked up back behind the Blake goal. Pettygrove with it, trying to move it out for the Bears. Nice pass that connects on the wing with Audrey Wethington. She's got one of the 2 Blake goals so far in this one. And dumped off now by the Mustangs. Here they come. Long pass up ahead. Mobley trying to cut inside. Got tied up there for a moment. Picks it right back up. Mobley right in the slot, just off the tape of the stick there. And it'll be exited out of the zone by Blake. This will be another icing against Blake. So it'll come back into their zone. 2 minutes exactly on the clock here to go in this first period. Haven't had a ton of scoring chances recently for either team. Two goals for Blake. Again, I mentioned the goal scorers, Wethington and Higuchi. And they have the lead so far. Oh, penalty right off the draw. And this one going to be against Breck. They will get that extra attacker out on the ice. Got to be careful here for a moment. Could have been too many players on the ice as they almost had a chance there. This looked like a trip right off the draw. And so Blake has a 6-on-5. Here's a long pass back to the point. Wrister through traffic, was blocked and finally touched for the whistle with 1:31. But Blake got lucky they didn't get a penalty there too, because the goaltender was not fully off the ice when that puck was played by the extra skater. So Breck will sit for 2 in the box. That is Ashley Halverson, the senior, who has 18 points on the year, that will take a seat. So Blake will have a power play for the rest of the period if they don't score. Back behind the net now as the Bears have it. Pass across. There's a player open and a big snapper held on to by Sarah Peterson. That was a good-looking shot off the wing. And see if we can take a look at this one again. Right off the draw. See, they work it across. That's a nice feed. And held on to nicely by Peterson as we continue play. Back at the point, here's Wethington. Works it back. Bloom back to Wethington, and now Bloom again at the top of the point. Working this box around the outside. Here are the Bears. Back up to the point, and that just missed the mark intended for Julia Bloom, so she'll have to go back and track it down. 1 minute to go in the first. Blake's still on the power play again for the remainder of this period. Almost given away at the line as Blake has to whack it up the boards. Here they come, 3-on-2 into the zone. Quick snapshot, pad save, rebound in the slot there, and kept in by Blake. Quick shot off the back end of the net. And this one will be cleared down by the Mustangs. Oh, look out, dangerous play in front of the net there. Blake able to keep it out though. Here's Mobley trying to dish it in. Nice moves by Mobley. Shoots, save by Haig. That was a great-looking chance from Olivia Mobley, who nearly had her second of the game. We'll go ahead and mark that down. Take a look at it on replay once we get our next whistle. 4 seconds to go in the period. Pass across connects with Riley Winters, and they're offsides at the line with .6 to go in the period. Here's that chance again for Olivia Mobley. You see her right at the line and then comes in to pick it up. And Molly Haig makes a great stop. So .6 on the clock. And that will do it for the first period of play. It's the visiting Blake Bears with a 2-1 lead after the first period of play. And they will have 29 seconds of power play time to begin this second period of play. So Blake 2, Breck 1 after 1. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Want to give a special thanks to some of our partners who are making this broadcast possible. We have Tradition Companies. You can check them out at traditioncompanies.com, and of course American Family Insurance as well. That's amfam.com, amfam.com, and some other partners, Dynamites, and Tradition Companies, 6 companies in one. Lots of really good things that they can do, and if you're interested in learning more about Tradition Companies, check them out at traditioncompanies.com. So we'll hear some words from our sponsors, and we'll get you back to the action for period number 2 after the break. But at the end of 1, it's Blake 2, Breck 1. You're watching girls hockey here on MN Hockey TV. Stay with us as we'll be back for period number 2.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. Dynamites, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that When you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. So we have a very high retention rate. Dynamite's high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that Dynamite is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. We might say to the kids, like, we're going to do some hard things today, and we want you to remember we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing, and you got heads down and panting, and remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe and not fear.
Hockey continues on the mnhockey.tv, and we're proud to bring in the man, Chad Schumacher from Tradition Wealth Management. Chad, you and I have been at this for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch firsthand with what your organization's been able to do, not only as a wealth management firm, but what you've done in the community, and you're very engaged in it with lots of locations. So can you give us a little bit of a history lesson of where you've been and where this has gone and where it's going?
Yeah, so Tradition Wealth Management, we started in 2003 with a couple different partners that came from large institutions with the dream, and we started in a conference room with one phone between 6 employees. And now in February and Valentine's Day, we'll be 17 years old.
I'd like to have seen what that wrestling match for that one phone looked like between those employees. That must have been something else.
It was good.
So you have locations really spread throughout the Twin Cities. Can you share those locations and strategically how you landed there?
Yep. We've been in Edina since existence, and so this is where our largest operation is. And now we've recently opened up offices in Woodbury, North Oaks, downtown St. Paul by the Tria Center, and out in Wayzata.
And then in terms of employees, what kind of coverage do you have from that respect?
I think we're up to 17 employees right now. We're still looking to grow. We're trying to hire a couple of really experienced teams to help engage with clients going forward.
You guys have been very engaged in the community throughout with lots of initiatives, which has also created some great networking opportunities for those involved. And you've had a lot of things from which to be proud of. Can you touch on some of those things that you as an organization have done?
Well, obviously it starts, we just take care of people. We deliver everything from high net worth strategies all the way to starting people from our 401ks that we work with, just with basic estate planning stuff. So we're really proud with that. We lead with the comprehensive planning. We try not to turn over all the rocks. We realize every person's has a different set of circumstances, net worths, health issues, you name it. But we try to create a private family office for people who don't have private family offices and help them with all the investment advice that we can give them.
Well, it basically answered my next question of why are you unique, and I'm sure that's pretty much the key thing, right?
Yeah. I'd say, most people hire us. When we're managing assets for people, we're normally managing all the assets that are be able to be managed, and just take their unique set of circumstances and build it to the plan that makes sense for each client we deal with.
We have tons of people out there that watch these games for real, and they all have needs, and I'm sure they're going to want to be able to get a hold of you and your team somehow. I would highly recommend that. What's the best way to reach out to get a hold of you and your team here?
I'd say just call my number. I'd be glad to talk to you and get you in touch with the right person from the right office. My direct line is 952-563-6504.
Chad, thanks a lot. Let's get back at it. Some more hockey action coming up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Wishes and More send me to Disney World.
Hi, my name is Giovanni Lopez, and I was 17 years old when I got diagnosed with the stage 2 testicular cancer.
Hi, my name is Josh, and my wish was for a game room.
My friend got a wish from Wishes and More, and I think Wishes and More is really cool.
We wanted to make the time Emily had as full and as much of a celebration of her life as we could, and Wishes and More helped with that.
Wishes and More isn't a what, it's a who. We are comprised of volunteers and a small staff and supporters who care about the kids in our community and want to do something to make it very special for those kids or to support the families who lose their child. We actually have 3 programs.
Hi, I'm Christy, and my daughters were Abby, Rose, and Sarah Ann. We were introduced to Wishes and More when we were inpatient with Abby at University of Minnesota Children's Hospital. We made the change to have a play set installed in our backyard and have a special reclining swing for Abby that all of her medical equipment could be attached to. And within 10 days it was installed and we were playing on it in our backyard. We were able to use it every day for a full 11 days before Abby passed away.
Josh's wish still continues today because there are so many times where Josh just can't do what everyone else gets to do, and as normal as we try to make his life, it just isn't a normal life. And so when there's birthday parties he can't go to, or when there's been treatment days and he has to miss out on hockey or hockey practice, he goes down into his game room and he turns on that bubble hockey machine and it plays the Star Spangled Banner, and I know that he's in his good place and he's happy down there.
Our memorial program was developed for those very, very sad situations when a child did not survive to experience their wish. We didn't want to just say goodbye. We wanted to show them that we did care. There's no other organization that does that for any families in Minnesota, but we do.
In the fall after Abby had passed away, Sarah started showing some of the same signs that Abby had, and it was very scary. We weren't sure what was going on, and we called our doctors and they examined her right away. They were able to confirm it was the same thing happening to Sarah. We had kind of forgot about our wish application, things went downhill very quickly. Sarah had passed away, and it was a couple days later, and got a call, and Wishes and More was calling to tell us that they were at a memorial for us. Sarah was our little butterfly. She bounced around and never sat still and was always in motion. So Sarah was our little butterfly, and we wanted to build that garden in her memory. Our bench says, "Those we have held in our arms for a little while, we hold in our hearts forever."
You know, that saying almost can be our saying for Wishes and More, because it's the same thing. When we hold these families in our arms for a little while, we actually do hold them forever, Christy. I mean, you know that. We do. We hold them forever and hope that they feel that. And we're so grateful for what you've done in talking about Wishes and More, and how brave you are to talk about your girls. Our Scholarship of Hope program was created in order to make sure that every child and every family that came to us knew that we were hopeful and we were looking to their future.
Wishes and More is giving a scholarship of hope to Josh, so the wish continues to keep on giving. And not only for Josh, but for us as parents who have been through a lot financially with the medical trauma that we've been through with him. It's really nice to know that Wishes and More will still be with us as his future continues.
My wish for Wishes and More was a shopping spree. I really wanted a MacBook. I knew I was heading off to college. I knew I needed a good computer to work. I got my little sister a dress because her 3rd birthday was coming up, so helped my parents out with that and got her a little dress. And I bought my little brother some shoes that they really wanted. And not only did Wishes and More grant me a wish, but they also gave me a scholarship of hope, which was $1,000 towards any college of my choosing. I come from a low-income family, so I knew that I either had to keep working to go to school or find some way to pay for college, and that scholarship of hope really helped me out and my family.
You asked who Wishes and More is. Wishes and More is you. It's simply people who care about kids, care about families who are going through some really tough times, and it's our way of wrapping our arms around them and telling them your community cares. We care about what you're going through, and we'll move mountains to do whatever we can for you. That's who Wishes and More is.
Welcome back to the Breck Anderson Ice Arena here as we get ready for period number 2 of this girls hockey contest between Blake and Breck. Good first period, both teams getting on the board. Blake with 2 though, and Breck with 1. Shots on goal in the first were 11-8 in favor of Blake. It was Breck that had the first goal from Olivia Mobley, and then Blake had 2. First one being from Audrey Wethington, and the second one being from Susie Higuchi. So Blake will begin this period on the power play for about 25 seconds or so, and they will try and extend their lead to 3-1. So good first period for both teams. We'll see what the second has in store for us as Breck has it to begin in the second stanza. Blake will work it out of the zone. Penalty time expiring, so that'll pretty much do it. Breck back to full strength now as we come into the offensive zone for Blake. Around the outside for the Bears is Audrey Wethington. Just missed the tape there. Elizabeth Morrison with it for Blake, and forced up the boards. Kept in at the line by Dalianitis. Lost in between the wickets. And taken a hold of by Burton. Trying to get it there in front of the net, but broken up. Addie Burton stood up at the line and flung off some sticks back into the zone. Now Kleppinger lost an edge. Here's a chance in front for Blake. Good stop by Peterson. And Breck will try and work it out of the zone. Nice pass up ahead, just off the edge there of the stick of Ashley Halverson. And held on to for the whistle. This Breck team has 3 sets of sisters on it. They've got the Fagley sisters, Sophia number 5 and Ani number 9. And then, of course, Ashley Halverson number 13, her sister Hannah number 6. And the other sets of sisters on this Breck team is, of course, the Lindsay sisters, Ava Lindsay number 7 and Sadie Lindsay number 8. So there is a good amount of sisters on this Breck team, and there's also a couple of them on the Blake team as well. We'll get into that a little bit later. 15-20 to go here in the second period. Here's a pass up to the point. The snapper stick save as this one deflects up off the glass. And kept in at the line by Breck. That's Josie Lang trying to feed it in front of the slot. It was forced wide there by, looks like, Hannah Halverson for Breck. Halverson with it along the wing. Picked up there by a teammate. Good speed. Around the outside, here's Mobley trying to get some room. Dishes it off back down low. That's actually Ava Lindsay, not Mobley out there. And now connecting with it at the point. Shot deflected loose. They score! Breck has tied the game. It's 2-2. Nice job in front of the net there by Breck, not giving up. And we'll watch it on a replay here.
14 and 7.
Take a look at this one. Not getting it to work for some reason. Here we go. A little bit slowed down, but you see that puck. And jammed in right at the doorstep. And Breck has tied this game, and that goal is 8 from 14 and 7. Here's a chance in front. Mobley trying to get it, and of course 8 from 14 and 7. Oh, good chance there in front. That'd be Sadie Lindsay from Josie Lang and Ava Lindsay. So Sadie Lindsay with the goal to give Breck a tie advantage. Off the glass and now flung up the boards. 2-2 game here now in the second period. This one out of the zone. It will be an icing against Breck. So back down to their end with 14:04 to go in the second. 2-2 is your score between these two IMAC Conference rivals. And it has been a terrific game so far. 12-12 are your shots. Off the draw, Blake wins it. Trying to chop it across there. Looked like on the attempt. And now flung up the boards as it's flung right back across by Emily Zumwinkel. Zumwinkel is a defenseman for Breck, the junior committed to the University of Minnesota. She is one of 6 Division I commits for Breck, and Blake also has 6 Division I commits as well. So a total of 12 Division I future women's hockey players on the ice right now for both of these teams. A very incredible amount of talent that you're seeing on the ice. Here's a quick snapper off a stick and flung wide on the backhand there by Audrey Wethington. Gets it back in the slot in front, trying to go find a teammate in front of the net there, but kept it at the line. Another snapper skids wide of Sarah Peterson in net. Chopped down low by Julia Bloom, and now flung back up to the point. Bloom had it between the wickets, but it bounced off her skate, and the intended pass for Ava Lindsay will go a little bit too far for an icing. So that will stop the clock at 12:57. A little bit more on this Breck team, of course. They had a big win last week. They played Andover, the top-ranked team at the time in girls AA. And they beat them 5-4, a really exciting game. That really gave Breck their signature win that they have been looking for all season long after losing to then number 2 Edina a couple of times. Edina now number 1 thanks to that loss by Andover. Breck trying to jam at it in front here as this one just pops up high. Now Blake will take it out of the zone. Right on the tape of Kate Kasika, stood up at the line and delivered right back into the corner. Breck will take a hold of it now as it's Josie Lang spinning away from the trouble. Leah Kauser now up the boards, whacked at and finally gotten out of the zone by the Mustangs. Chopped at the line as Blake will keep it in. Flung back around the outside by Charlotte Opp. Or rather, that looked like it was Malia Kauser there for Breck. Puck will come back into Blake territory as they have to skate back and regroup. Pass just missed the mark, intended for Elizabeth Morinson. And Breck will take it right at the line. Good speed in the zone by Allie Qualley. Here's Qualley trying to cut inside, forced back around. And Mobley will come right back in to help out, or Zoomwinkle rather, for the Mustangs. Blake has it. Player tripped up, no penalty called. Full play on. Banked off the boards by Susie Higuchi, one of the goal scorers. Here's a quick snapper. Peterson had that glove ready and makes the stop. Good looking opportunity there for Blake. We'll watch this on replay, or maybe not. Get a quick look here. See right across into the zone, and a good looking opportunity there. This one rolling in on Peterson, who will make another quick stop. 11:22 to go in the second. Again, 2-2 game. Been a good one so far between these IMAC Conference rivals. Off the draw. Breck will win it. Not out of the zone, though, as it was just kept in by Wethington. Now Dalianitis with a high wrist shot that goes over the top. Now Blake taking it around the outside. Bump backed up to the point by Winters. Peterson turns it aside. And Breck will try and move it out. Good keep by Dalianitis in front. Blocked by her own teammate. That was Wethington that had it bounce off her skates. Tough break for Blake. Now down low. Nice feed. Trying to go back for Dalianitis in the slot. Coming to wind that one up was Jackie Wethington. And now Breck will play it out of the zone. Trying to go inside there was Sadie Lindsay, but nothing doing for her as it's forced to the corner. And now Blake will play it out of the zone. Here they come across the line. Good speed. Here's Burton trying to throw it out front. It'll go back behind the net and now up the boards as Lindsay tries to whack away at it there. Jammed up in the corner of the Mustangs. Zumwinkle takes a hit and gives an extra little shove, and that will be a penalty against the Mustangs. So Blake will be going on the power play here. And we'll watch this one again on replay. You see just that extra little shove from Zumwinkle, and that's where you get the penalty. So that will give a power play for the Blake Bears as they win the draw. Trying to move it out of the zone, and stalling some time there for a moment was Morrison, but right back into the Blake zone. Flung out, glove down at the line by Pettygrove, and now kept in. Here's Susie Higuchi around the outside. Not a lot of size on Higuchi, but she can really make some good plays, and we saw her score a very pretty goal earlier in this game. Higuchi gets it back on the right side, tied up in the corner. She'll fire it off, lost her footing in the process, and gathered in by Morrison. Her pass will miss the mark and come back out to Blake territory. Up the boards now. Played up by Dalianitis across the line for Burton. Here's Burton looking for a lane. Shoots over the top. That one had some power to it. 54 to go on the Blake power play now. Here's Dalianitis with the shot, and Peterson makes the easy stop for the whistle, stopping the clock with 9:01 to go in the second period. There's another look at that scoring chance from the Bears. Gathered up no problem by Peterson. And Breck will get it to the line, but not out. Good keep by Wethington. Wethington throws it towards the slot. Cleared out of there once again by Breck. That will kill off some more time. 35 to go on the power play now for the Bears. Shots now are 17-12 in favor of Blake as they have that last 5, mostly thanks to this power play that they've had. Good stick work there from Lindsay to break it up. And flung back across the line. Bears right at the line, and this will be offsides. They just did not get in on time. Official was right there to make the call. 8:23 to go in the second, 11 to go on the Blake power play. Again, that call was Zumwinkle for a trip. And she will get ready to come out of the box here in just a few moments. Up the boards. Gathered in by Messner. She plays it up ahead. Mobley chops it down around to the other side. So Breck now at full strength as Zumwinkle will rejoin her teammates out on the ice. Breck with possession in the offensive zone. Mobley in front, and that one just skids across the crease. It's a good-looking chance there for the Mustangs. Now out of the zone. This one sneaks right past the twig of Zumwinkle. Breck trying to get back on defense here, and they will play it out of the zone. Mobley across the line. Mobley has one of the 2 Breck goals so far. That brings her season total to 33 on the year for Olivia Mobley. And Breck will come into the zone again. They're offsides, though, and that will stop the clock again. Let's go back and take a look at this play right out in front of the net here for Breck. And you see, keep an eye on in front of the net. There's Olivia Mobley right there. She fed it off in front in a good-looking chance for Breck. 7:29 to go in the period. Only goal of the period so far was the equalizer from Breck's Sadie Lindsay. That's where we stand right now, 2-2. Good speed around the outside from Higuchi, and will be flung off the boards where it's taken by Malia Kauser. Up ahead now, here's Sadie Lindsay. Hands it off, trying to go back to Lindsay, but given away. And so Breck will bank it off the boards. D-to-D pass intercepted by Breck as they fling it back around the other way. Halverson tried to keep it in the zone there, but taken up out of the zone. Hannah Halverson with it for Breck. She is just an 8th grader, but already has 24 points on the year, and she is going to be a lot of fun to watch over the next 4 seasons here at Breck, and obviously is going to be headed to a Division I college at some point in the future. That's still probably another year or 2 away before she begins to start thinking about where to commit, but Hannah has been a lot of fun to watch at this Breck program throughout the year. And her sister, Ashley Halverson, is a senior. She has 6 goals, 12 assists, for a total of 18 points on the year. Get a new face-off person here for Breck. Up along the boards now, Blake trying to clear it out of the zone. Intended target was Burton. Broken up momentarily. That was Ashley Halverson. She was one of the starters for Breck. Pretty full house here, though, at least on the one side tonight. Here's a big wind-up, caught a body. That was off the stick of the dangerous Ellie Kleppinger. Now here's a break for Blake as they try and throw it in front. No penalty called. Some of the Blake fans wanted a hook there on the breakaway. Now Mobley gets it around the outside. Here's Mobley, and this will be an icing as she just couldn't get there in time. 5:51 in the second period. 2-2. Your score at this point. Been a terrific game so far here at the Breck Anderson Ice Arena. Face off to the right of Peterson. Deleonitis going to get tossed and will be replaced by Burton. And so Breck will win it. Here's Josie Lang up the wall, forced down low. Blake trying to get something going here in the offensive zone, but taken away by Messner as Blake has to get back on defense. Good speed into the zone from Sadie Lindsay, trying to throw it towards the slot area. And played up along the wall. Long outlet pass, gathered in at the line by Burton. Ran out of real estate though. And an extension pass just misses the mark. That was off the tape of Lang. And so back down to the other end, Breck territory. 18-13 are your shots. And Breck has not had a lot of chances here so far in the second period. If I'm not mistaken, they only have 2 shots on goal to this point in the period. They had 11, I believe, after the first, so they need to get some more offense going here in the second. They did score the tying goal, but it is still 2-2. Here's a chance in front, turned aside by Peterson. The puck's loose and forced to the point, top of the circle now, where Blake will gather it in. Around the outside. Nice hard pass. Connects at the line as Kasika will fling it back around. Now back up to the point. Here's Bloom. Snapper. Save. Rebound. Just goes to the corner. Good chance there for Blake. They try to pinch and keep it in. Glove down at the line, but quickly exited right back out. Now Lindsay had it for a moment, and Blake will have to go back into their own end and grab it here. Good forecheck from Breck. That's Ava Lindsay in the corner. Up along the wall, Breck working away, trying to steal it away here from the Bears. Now that pass will come through center. Racing to chop it up along the wall was Kauser, but this one goes out of play. 4:05 to go in the second. Again, just a couple of shots on goal here in the period for Breck, but they were the ones that equalized it after it was a 2-1 game after the first period. Here's a chance in front, stumbling to the ice was Higuchi, one of the 2 goal scorers for Blake, along with Wethington. Now played up through center. Here's Qualley with a shot, and that one missed the net. It was a scorcher off the stick of Qualley, who is committed to Merrimack University. Now in front, Mobley scores! Olivia Mobley has made it a 3-2 game, and Breck has their first lead since the first period. Big goal there.
17 from 13.
Watch this. Nice finish. Gets a nice cheer from the student section as well. That's here at the Breck Anderson Ice Arena. And Olivia Mobley has her second of the game, her 34th of the year, to make it a 3-2 lead for the Breck Mustangs. So with 3:38 here now to go in the second period, Breck has now scored 2 unanswered to lead this game 3-2. Here they are looking for more. Pass in the slot. Broken up by the defense there. Sadie Lindsay had it on the twig. Whack away in front as it's now shoved to the corner. Held on to at the line. Dished off by Hannah Halverson. Now across. Good job by Josie Lang, able to send it down to the other side. Caught in between the wickets now as Breck will work it down into the corner. Halverson gave it away, and Deleonitis will flip it up, but broken up. Halverson across the line, delayed offside, so the Mustangs will have to tag up. Now at the line, played back down low by Breck, but this one will be an icing against the Mustangs. 2:41 to go. They are being outshot 20-15, but they lead it 3-2 to this point. Once we get to the third period, we'll take a look at those goals from Breck in the second period and how we got there. Peterson ready in net. This one will take a bounce off a stick. And now here's Qualley. Mobley, shot and no goal. That one kept out of the net. The official didn't give a signal, and that was a terrific stop by Molly Haig for the Blake Bears. Watch this. Really good looking chance. And you see the pass from Qualley to Mobley, and somehow that puck stayed out. Nice work by Molly Haig. Here's a shot that's blocked in front. 2:24 to go now in the second period. Nice work across the line. Qualley trying to cut inside. Lost it in the skates. Here's a big wind-up. Peterson caught it with the glove, or a piece of it with the glove as it bounced off the leather there. Now up ahead, this one gathered in by Breck's Ashley Halverson. Under 2 minutes to play in the period. 3-2 lead for Breck, who has gotten 2 of their 3 goals here in the second period. The next time these 2 teams will play will be next year. Of course, they are in different classes. Breck is in single A and Blake is in double A, so that would prevent them from playing in the section tournament or the state tournament. And since, of course, they are automatically in different classes as well and sections, so these teams will not see each other again until the 2020-2021 season. So these are the last time these 2 teams will see each other for a while. Here's a chance in front, and Haig will keep it out. 1:22 to go in the second period. One stops the clock, and shots again are 21-16 Blake. They trail it 3-2. Off the draw. Backhanded up the boards now. And here comes Dalianitis with speed. Big snapper, turn aside. Follow-up try on the rebound. Scooted to the corner by Peterson. 1:05 to go in the second. Now up along the wall. Gathered in. Dalianitis, nice move. Had it whacked off first stick. And down low, a player was taken down. Breck trying to move it out of the zone. There's Lindsay, Ava Lindsay trying to go to her sister Sadie Lindsay. And now Blake comes into the zone. Dalianitis took a tumble there. Now Blake player tripped up. That will be a penalty against the Mustangs. So Blake will get another power play just like they did at the end of the first period. And that will be a big chance for them now. That's a trip, and that will be against Leah Kauser. As you see there, they tumble to the ice. Big chance here for the Bears. They need to get something going here before the period ends. I have a Dalianitis hop in on the draw here as she wins it back. Flung over to the other point. Big wind up there was blocked. And working to try and keep it in was Julia Bloom. And now fired out of the zone by the Mustangs with 20 to go in the period. Interference coming up. That was a pretty obvious one there, as the Blake fans had their hands up, or the Breck fans rather had their hands up right away. Watch this. This is about as obvious as it gets from an official standpoint. See right in front of the net, and there's where that interference comes. So we have 4-on-4 for 1:41. Here we go, final 10 of the period, as Blake will have it back behind the net. Holding it is Wethington, and Blake just going to eat it in their own end here to begin end the period rather, as it's flung up the boards, and that'll do it for period number 2. 3-2 in favor of the Breck Mustangs, who scored both goals that period. It was Sadie Lindsay who struck first just a few minutes into the period, and then it was the second goal scored by Olivia Mobley. That was the go-ahead goal that gave Breck a 3-2 lead. So we'll have 4-on-4 for a minute 26 to begin the third period, and then we'll have looks like a brief power play for Breck. So that's where we stand after 2 periods of play. Make sure you stay tuned for the third period. Going to be a good one. We'll hear a few words from our sponsors during this second intermission. Breck 3, Blake 2. After 2, you're watching girls hockey here on mnhockey.tv.
Hockey continues on the mnhockey.tv, and we're proud to bring in the man, Chad Schumacher from Tradition Wealth Management. Chad, you and I have been at this for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch firsthand with what your organization's been able to do, not only as a wealth management firm, but what you've done in the community, and you're very engaged in it with lots of locations. So can you give us a little bit of a history lesson of where you've been and where this has gone and where it's going?
Yeah, so Tradition Wealth Management, we started in 2003 with a couple different partners that came from large institutions. With the dream, and we started in a conference room with one phone between 6 employees, and now in February on Valentine's Day we'll be 17 years old.
I'd like to have seen what that wrestling match for that one phone looked like between those employees. That must have been something else.
It was good.
So you have locations really spread throughout the Twin Cities. Can you share those locations and strategically how you landed there?
Yep. We've been in Edina since existence. And so this is where our largest operation is. And now we've recently opened up offices in Woodbury, North Oaks, downtown St. Paul by the Tria Center, and out in Wayzata.
And then in terms of employees, what kind of coverage do you have from that respect?
I think we're up to 17 employees right now. We're still looking to grow. We're trying to hire a couple of really experienced teams to help engage with clients going forward.
You guys have been very engaged in the community throughout with lots of initiatives, which has also created some great networking opportunities for those involved. And you've had a lot of things from which to be proud of. Can you touch on some of those things that you as an organization have done?
Well, obviously it starts, we just take care of people. We deliver everything from high net worth strategies all the way to starting people from our 401ks that we work with. Just with basic estate planning stuff. So we're really proud with that. We do lead with the comprehensive planning. We try not to turn over all the rocks. We realize every person's has a different set of circumstances, net worths, health issues, you name it. But we try to create a private family office for people who don't have private family offices and help them with all the investment advice that we can give them.
Well, it basically answered my next question of why are you unique, and I'm sure that's pretty much the key thing, right?
Yeah. I'd say, most people hire us. When we're managing assets for people, we're normally managing all the assets that are be able to be managed, and just take their unique set of circumstances and build it to the plan that makes sense for each client we deal with.
We have tons of people out there that watch these games for real, and they all have needs, and I'm sure they're going to want to be able to get a hold of you and your team somehow. I would highly recommend that. What's the best way to reach out to get a hold of you and your team here?
I'd say just call my number. I'd be glad to talk to you and get you in touch with the right person from the right office. My direct line is 952-563-6504.
Chad, thanks a lot. Let's get back at it. Some more hockey action coming up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Wishes and more send me to Disney World.
Hi, my name is Giovanni Lopez, and I was 17 years old when I got diagnosed with the stage 2 testicular cancer.
Hi, my name is Josh, and my wish was for a game room.
My friend got a wish from Wishes in War, and I think Wishes in War is really cool.
We wanted to make the time Emily had as full and as much of a celebration of her life as we could, and Wishes and More helped with that.
Wishes and More isn't a what, it's a who. We are comprised of volunteers and a small staff and supporters who care about the kids in our community and want to do something to make it very special for those kids or to support the families who lose their child. We actually have 3 programs.
Hi, I'm Christy, and my daughters were Abby, Rose, and Sarah Ann. We were introduced to Wishes and More when we were inpatient with Abby at University of Minnesota Children's Hospital. We made the change to have a play set installed in our backyard and have a special reclining swing for Abby that all of her medical equipment could be attached to. And within 10 days it was installed and we were playing on it in our backyard. We were able to use it every day for a full 11 days before Abby passed away.
Josh's wish still continues today because there are so many times where Josh just can't do what everyone else gets to do, and as normal as we try to make his life, it just isn't a normal life. And so when there's birthday parties he can't go to, or when there's been treatment days and he has to miss out on hockey or hockey practice, he goes down into his game room and he turns on that bubble hockey machine and it plays the Star Spangled Banner, and I know that he's in his good place and he's happy down there.
Our memorial program was developed for those very, very sad situations when a child did not survive to experience their wish. We didn't want to just say goodbye. We wanted to show them that we did care. There's no other organization that does that for any families in Minnesota, but we do.
In the fall after Abby had passed away, Sarah started showing some of the same signs that Abby had, and it was very scary. We weren't sure what was going on, and we called our doctors and they examined her right away. They were able to confirm it was the same thing happening to Sarah. We had kind of forgot about our wish application. Things went downhill very quickly. Sarah had passed away, and it was a couple days later and got a call, and Wishes and More was calling to tell us that they were at a memorial for us. Sarah was our little butterfly. She bounced around and never sat still and was always in motion. So Sarah was our little butterfly, and we wanted to build that garden in her memory. Our bench says, "Those we have held in our arms for a little while, we hold in our hearts forever."
You know, that saying almost can be our saying for Wishes and More, because it's the same thing. When we hold these families in our arms for a little while, we actually do hold them forever, Christy. I mean, you know that. We do. We hold them forever and hope that they feel that. And we're so grateful for what you've done in talking about Wishes and More and how brave you are to talk about your girls. Our Scholarship of Hope program was created in order to make sure that every child and every family that came to us knew that we were hopeful and we were looking to their future.
Wishes and More is giving a scholarship of hope to Josh, so the wish continues to keep on giving. And not only for Josh, but for us as parents who have been through a lot financially with the medical trauma that we've been through with him. It's really nice to know that Wishes and More will still be with us as his future continues.
My wish for Wishes and More was a shopping spree. I really wanted a MacBook. I knew I was heading off to college. I knew I needed a good computer to work. I got my little sister a dress because her 3rd birthday was coming up, so helped my parents out with that and got her a little dress. And I bought my little brother some shoes that they really wanted. And not only did Wishes and More grant me a wish, but they also gave me a scholarship of hope, which was $1,000 towards any college of my choosing. I come from a low-income family, so I knew that I either had to keep working to go to school or find some way to pay for college, and that Scholarship of Hope really helped me out and my family.
You asked who Wishes and More is? Wishes and More is you. It's simply people who care about kids, care about families who are going through some really tough times, and it's our way of wrapping our arms around them and telling them your community cares. We care about what you're going through, and we'll move mountains to do whatever we can for you. That's who Wishes and More is.
Welcome back to the Anderson Ice Arena as we get ready for the third period of this girls hockey contest between Breck and Blake. Been a great game so far. Breck with the 3-2 lead here on home ice, and we'll have some 4-on-4 time to begin the period. So Breck trailed this game 2-1, but they scored the last two goals both in the second period to make it a 3-2 game. So that's where we stand right now. Olivia Mobley has 2 goals for Breck. The other one was scored by Sadie Lindsay. And for Blake, the goal scorers are Audrey Wethington with the first one and Susie Higuchi with the second. So those are your goal scorers right now. Again, Breck was down 2-1 after leading 1-0 And then they rallied back to score both of the last 2 goals of this game. So Blake will bump it up into the zone, but quickly exited on the nice connection pass to Olivia Mobley. Here's Mobley. That one is fired wide of the mark. Now Blake will take it up ahead. Cross and into the zone off the tape. And moved up by Qualley. Blake gathers it back in. Fired up the boards. Just missed the mark as Zumwinkle go back to track it down. Zumwinkle connects on the pass. Fanned on the outlet feed. And now connecting up ahead for Lindsay. Given away. Nice interception by Bailey Abraham. Here's the shot. Scores! Blake has tied the game. And that's Audrey Wethington with her 2nd goal of the game. And that makes it 3-3. See the big shot and the goal. And Blake has made it 3-3. So Wethington with her 2nd. We'll see who gets the assist. Had our ice mic turned down there for a moment, so we'll see who gets the primary assist on that goal. Outlet pass connecting up ahead. Bailey Abraham with looks like the lone assist on that goal from Wethington. Breck has a power play for 15 seconds here after it's now a 3-3 game. Higuchi back behind the net. And now we're back to full strength here in just a moment. And here's Mobley waiting to shoot. Save there by Haig, and the rebound comes out to the slot and up to the point. Blake will fire it into the zone, rolling right into Peterson, who will just hang on for the whistle. So here's a look again at that goal that tied the game up here. This one from Audrey Wethington, and you see the nice snipe right there on the left side of the net. 15:05 to go in the third of a 3-3 game. Here comes Breck into the zone, the snapper and the save, and moved up the boards now as Breck will try and move it up along the wall, down into the corner. Wethington up ahead and broken up off the stick there of Delianitis. Here comes Breck into the zone, nice move. Lindsay trying to throw it in front for Mobley, loose, and Haig found it. Had to reach up a little bit to make the stop, but did a really nice job of corralling that puck into the mitt. Watch this again. You see Haig, the goaltender number 33 for Blake, making the nice stop. Off the draw as the Bears will take it in. Up ahead now, intended for Elizabeth Morrison. Nice move there for a moment by Susie Higuchi. And taken a hold of now by Riley Winters, the sophomore for Blake, committed to the U of M. Here's a shot that was fanned on by Morrison. And now flung back into the corner. Up along the boards, fired up the wall by Kleppinger, kept in. Pad save, rebound. Peterson fights it off. Where is it? Still loose in the crease, now back into the corner. Back up to the point. All kinds of bodies in the slot. Now here's a snapshot into the glove of Peterson, who makes the stop. Watch this on replay. There was just a ton going on there in front of that Breck net, and good job by Peterson to hang on to it. 13:49 to go in the third and final period of this game. Tie game 3-3. Now Breck will take a hold of it. Up ahead, nice pass. Here they come on a breakaway. Here's the shot, scores! Qualley makes it 4-3 Breck, and the students have congregated to the boards And they are loving this one now, 4-3. Watch this pass right on the money
From 17.
to Allie Qualley, who buries it for the goal. And that is a huge goal for the Mustangs, who are now back in front. And the primary assist on that goal goes to Olivia Mobley, who now has her 3rd point of the game. So a big one there as Breck has regained the lead, 4-3. Now here's Dalianitis with the shot. That one missed the mark. Boy, I'll tell you what, the intensity of this game has really picked up here in the last few minutes or so of this game. Been a big swing of emotions. We're going to have a couple of coincidental minors. It looks like the referee saw something that she didn't like. And looks like we'll just have 4 and 4.
It's 6 a rough and 7 a high stick. It should be 5 on 5 so it doesn't go on the board.
Hear the official there. High stick and a rough, the call on those two players. Off the draw now. Again, 5 on 5, even though we had those 2 minor penalties. So coincidental minors, but they don't go on the board. Breck trying to extend their lead here as they come across the line. Nice feed in the slot. Follow-up try, save, and a rebound just rolls off the tape. Boy, that was a good-looking shot, and the rebound was just a little bit too aggressive. Great initial stop by Molly Haig, and you see that one goes right through the legs of Shea Messner, who is sitting on the doorstep there. So the puck will come outside the zone. 12:54 to go in this game. Breck with a 4-3 lead. They lead, or they do not lead the shots on goal. That's 29-20 in favor of Blake. Been a great job by the Breck goalie, Sarah Peterson, so far tonight. Peterson is just a freshman. She's got a big future here with the Breck Mustangs. Now Breck moving it up the boards. Pass connects at the line. And taking a hold of now by Emily Zumwinkle. Breck across the red line now as they come into the zone. Good speed. Here's Lindsay taking a hold of it now. Ava Lindsay for Breck. Nice move to get around the defense and into the corner. Tape to tape up the boards it goes. And connects right back here with Kauser. Now Ava Lindsay winds it up. Save there. Rebound just off the side of the net. Follow-up try in front, broken up by some Blake sticks as they will come outside the zone. Along the wall. Nice move into the zone. Tangled up, and now Lindsay will come into the zone. Batted down by a high stick, but Breck will still take a hold of it. Messner throws it up ahead. Or rather, that's Allie Qualley. Got mixed up between the numbers there. Mobley lost it, had it taken away into the zone. Here comes the Bears into the zone, but off the stick. And now the exit pass. Mobley will fling it up around the boards area. Nice feed across the line. Here comes the speedy Addie Burton. Her shot was fired wide of the mark. And now Breck will come up the boards, across the line. Here's Halverson with the shot. And big windup from the point. That one just missed the mark. Another follow-up try broken up on the stick. Here's a chance in front, just off the tape of Halverson, who had a good look there for Breck. They will come out of the zone now right up in front of our ice. Mike chopped at there. That's Addie Burton using the stick to her advantage. Back into Mustang territory. Kleppinger connects at the line. Here's Lindsay. Nice move! And broken up. That was a good move by Lindsay. That would have been a highlight reel goal there for Eva Lindsay had she buried that one. Now out of the zone. Breck will come right back in. Lost in between the wickets of Messner. Dished off. Lindsay across. Shoots. Saved by Haig. And fought off into the corner. Back below the goal line now. Julia Bloom moving it up ahead for her teammates. Here's Wethington in the zone. Nice stop. Big juicy rebound coming out to the point where it's kept in. Students trying to get the Breck Mustangs into it here as they lead it 4-3. Up at the line and now coming out into the Breck zone. No icing. Good job on the forecheck there from Qualley. Blake will take a hold of it. Spinning away from the pressure was Pettygrove. And Morrison will have it dished off back behind the net. Mobley in front, nobody home as it's given away. On the exit feed, nice work by the Bears as they come across the line. Knocked to the ice was Lang. Bears will still have possession here as they come across the zone. Given away though in the wickets, banked off the boards. 9:05 to go here in this period. I was going to say we haven't had a whistle for a while, but now we get one. With 9:01 to go is the Breck Mustangs lead it 4-3. This has been just a back and forth game throughout. Off the draw now. This one flipped up out of the zone. Stopping the clock with 8:57. Get the clock fixed here for you. Since this puck was flipped into the Breck bench, it will come outside the zone. Down the ice it will go, and Hag will leave it off here for her teammates trying to get back into this game. This one down the ice, and it will come back for Emily Zumwinkle, the Minnesota commit. Zumwinkle will play it up around the boards now as it will connect, but forced back down into Breck territory. Fired down low by Ava Lindsay. Quick turnaround try, just missed the mark. Bears hanging on to it. Burton dishes it off. Nice job by Dalianitis working the zone. Here's Dalianitis. Had it. Save there by Peterson, who makes the stop. Now Dalianitis dishing off again. Blake threatening here in the offensive zone. Great work. Here's a quick shot. Blocked in front. Where is it? Into the corner, where it's gathered by the Mustangs now as they work it out of the zone. Great job, and oh, big hit there. That was a tough collision, and we've got a player down for Breck. And once they grab possession, they're going to have to blow it dead. And they still haven't stopped it. Now they finally will. Looks like that Breck player is okay, but let's see the collision here along the wall that resulted in this injury. Looks like Ava Lindsay for Breck. And see right here, oh, she landed head first on the ice. And ouch, it's got to be painful. And you see why she was in so much pain right after the hit was thrown. So we'll continue to play on. Lindsay will go to the bench and be trained to by the medical staff. Here's Qualley with the shot. Glove save by Haig. It's probably one of her better ones so far in this game. Really nice work by Molly Haig, who settled in here in this third period. Get a look at that opportunity again on replay. 7:21 to go in the period. Quick shot by Mobley, and that one hit the iron. Now back behind the net. One whacked right out of the hands. Not sure why there was no penalty called there against Breck, but we'll play on. Here's the snapper in the slot, broken up. Back to Blake territory. 7 minutes now to go as Pettygrove will play it up ahead. Nice pass connecting with Abraham. Breck intercepts, banked off the boards. And dished off at the line. Georgia Pettygrove trying to play it into the zone. Mustangs have it. Nifty little move there. Now Lindsay is back on the ice. Good to see Ava Lindsay. Dishes it off to Sadie Lindsay in front. Great stop by Haig. Rebound loose in the slot. And now taken a hold of by the Bears. Here they come. Here's Addie Burton across the line. Burton shoots. That's blocked into the corner by Katie Tyson. And now thrown out in front again. Here's Deleonitis, saved by Peterson. Rebound shoved to the corner and given up. Here's Deleonitis again. Missed the mark, trying to look for Burton on the redirect. Deleonitis again connecting down low. Knocked to the ice. Will continue play now. Mustangs trying to grab it. Hannah Halverson is stuck behind the net. Blake trying to tie this game up with under 6 to play in the period. Back up to the point. Held on to and dished off for Burton. And just kept in at the line for a moment, but this one will sneak through the blue paint. Now coming across the other way, here comes Breck. Halverson's shot deflects to the corner. Lindsay was right there to play it for Breck, but it'll be taken by the Bears as they come up the boards. Now up along the wall. Susie Higuchi plays it up through center. Here comes Blake. Good speed by Deleonitis. Working into the offensive zone, dropping it back, but nobody was home, and that's right on the tape of Qualley. Here's Qualley in front, missed the intended target for Mobley. Into the corner now is Halverson dishing it off for Mobley. Down below the goal line now. We're under 5 minutes to play. Here's Mobley trying to find a teammate in front of the net there. Going back in front was Mobley. That pass missed the mark. Here comes Blake, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Dished off on the left side in front, pad save, and the rebound taken a hold of now. Here comes Breck the other way. Allie Qualley had the go-ahead goal that made it 4-3. Now the outlet pass for Deleonitis. Stood up at the line, and that will give it right back to Breck. Pass now up ahead for Ashley Halverson, the senior forward, trying to make something happen for Breck here. Up along the wall now as it's played right in the Blake zone. Flipped up across the line. Back to get it is Zumwinkle. And played up ahead for Breck. Here they come into the zone. Pass across from Lindsay. Here's Sadie trying to go back to Ava Lindsay. Kept in at the line. Zumwinkle thought about loading it up. Dishes instead to Kleppinger. Stick save by Haig as she tries to cover it up, but instead goes to the corner. Now Ava Lindsay shoves it to the other side. Intercepted by Blake. They're having trouble getting out of the zone here with 3:39 to go in the period. Now Ava Lindsay right on the backhand in front. Dished off in front. Here's a big shot. Save there. Rebound. And that one just bounced off a body. And a big break for the Blake Bears. Now Olivia Mobley trying to gather it in. 3:18 to go in the third. Breck trying to seal this game. Qualley back for Mobley, and she lost the edge there as she tumbled to the ice. Now Mobley back with it. Nice pass in front, and this one will deflect out of play. Catch your breath with 3:05 to go in this third period of a one-goal game. We're getting towards timeout territory here with 3:05. See if we can get a timeout, and we will. So it will be a timeout here for Blake. And with that, we are going to go ahead and step aside. It's a 4-3 lead for the Breck Mustangs with 3:05 to play in the third. We'll be right back. You're watching girls hockey on MN Hockey TV. Here we go, back at Anderson Ice Arena, 4-3 lead for Breck as they try and hang on here against their arch rival Blake. Blake had a timeout to talk things over, and they will get ready to go here. And there's still 3 minutes, so we're probably another minute and a half or so away from a goalie being pulled. We'll see if Blake decides to pull Molly Haig, but in the meantime, we'll continue to play on at 5-on-5. Up the boards, intercepted at center by Josie Lang, fired into the zone. 2:50 to go in the period as it's flung up the ice. Audrey Wethington's pass connects right at the blue line. Nice little move there. And the snapper into the glove of Peterson. Wow, what a shot there. And we're going to have to take a look at this one on replay again. Watch this. Nice pass from Wethington. It connected at the line. And how about that little move by Burton? That would have been a really nice goal had it gone in the back of the net. But Peterson making sure that doesn't happen. Off the draw. Here's Delianitis, deflected into the pads of Sarah Peterson. Breck trying to move it out of the zone, and they do so. 2-on-3, odd man rush the other way. Lindsay trying to move it down low. Whacked at as Breck continues to kill some time here. Blake will take a hold of it. Outlet pass up ahead. Here's a 2-on-2 if they hurry. Dished off at the line, and this one will sneak out into the neutral zone. Played right up in front of the Breck bench here. 2:10 to go. Battle for possession, dug out by the Bears. And now they will play it up ahead. Here's Addie Burton, the Minnesota commit, dancing her way into the zone. Worked off the stick by Ava Lindsay. Now Lindsay with under 2 to play. Lindsay shoots, save by Haig. Big rebound played to the corner. We'll keep an eye on Haig and see if she decides to come to the bench. Now here's Higuchi, throwing it towards the front. Haig's about halfway out, waiting to get a signal. Now back up to the point. Lost it in between the wickets. That will kill some more time for Breck, but they gave it away. Haig is starting to get the signal from the coaching staff. She waits, and now here is the empty net, and knocked off the puck there was Halverson. And now Breck with the empty net. That one's fired wide, and Blake will have to take it back behind the net. No icing because it was past the red line. 1:10 to go now in the third. Pass connects to Malia Kauser. Up into the zone. Blake has to track it down. Julia Bloom off the boards. Played up off the wall. Taken a hold of by Morrison. Up ahead. Audrey Wethington into the zone. Great speed from Wethington around the outside. Shoots. Glove save. Peterson. What a stop. She has been phenomenal with the glove here in these final few minutes, and that is exactly what she needs to give her team a chance to hold on to this lead. Here's a look at that save again from Peterson. 46.7 to go. Off the draw in the slot. That one's fired wide off the tape of Wethington. Was right there with it. Blake trying to go back behind their net now and kill some time. 37 to go. Off the glass towards the neutral zone. Right at the red line. Good physical play. Delianitis takes a hold of it. Here's Delianitis, turned aside by Peterson off the glass. And now on the tape of Johnson. Lost it. This one will come out to neutral ice. 20 to go. Here's Bailey Abraham. Abraham dishes it off in the slot. Burton trying to pull the trigger. And this one will come back out to the neutral zone. Backhanded, and this one will just be wide of the mark. 4 seconds to go, and that will pretty much do it as the Breck Mustangs win a big game here tonight by a final score of 4-3. What a game this was. Back and forth these teams played, but at the end of the day, the game winner coming from Sam Bros in the third period. Final shots on goal were 39-27 in favor of Blake. But it's the Breck Mustangs who pull out a 4-3 victory here tonight. What a contest this was. It lived up to all the hype here at the Breck Anderson Ice Arena. So thank you for joining us. Special thanks to our partners, Tradition Companies, American Family Insurance, My Edge Hockey, and more for their support of MNHockey.tv, making this game possible. Again, the final score, Breck 4, Blake 3. Here at Breck Anderson Ice Arena. Thanks for joining us on MNHockey.tv. We'll be back on the air Thursday night for a boys contest between Minnetonka and Eden Prairie. Thanks for joining us. Alongside our cameraman Todd Grover, I'm Matt Harrington saying so long from Breck Anderson Ice Center.